a big round of applause, a big shout out to Jeffrey Martin, who's here all the time. And to Juan and Jessica, who also host our noches in Spanish. Tia Chucha exists because of people like this, right? People like this who volunteer their time to come and be here on the Friday nights to hold it down. I know Jeffrey's here, rain or shine, whether it's 2 people in the place or 40 people or 50 people, he's here. He was here on the day after Thanksgiving. He was like, I don't know if anybody's gonna come, but I'm here. I walked in, Jeffrey was right there, ready to go, you know? And same for Juan and Jessica, they put their time, not because they're not getting paid, they're not getting anything, but they really love what it's about, right? It's about coming together, sharing your words, sharing your thoughts, sharing your poetry, and we really appreciate them. So again, take the time to thank them. Because I also know what it was like to facilitate, right? When I started as a volunteer in 2001. Or in 2000, I had gone on a trip to Mexico, Chiapas, Mexico, to visit the EZLN movement. The EZLN was a movement that started in 1994 in Chiapas, Mexico, where the Zapatistas were and all this stuff. So I took a delegation there and I came back really motivated, invigorated. I'm a filmmaker as well, so I was able to meet with some of the Zapatistas there who were actually making films, and that was really inspiring. And I was like, man, we could organize events, we could do fundraisers and bring you the money. And he told me, he was like, you know what, that's great, but we don't need your help. Like, we need you to go to your community, see what the issues are there, and work on that. And that just like blew my mind, you know? That like really like opened up the world to me in an interesting way. So I came back to Los Angeles and I was looking, right? And I was looking for spaces and people, and there was a community in Los Angeles and Echo Park and East LA. People that were organizing, people that were making things happen, and I would travel and go all over the place. And then one day I opened up the newspaper and I saw this article right here, the Daily News that's over here. Luis opened up a box of books. And it was like the space opened up for artists in Sylmar, and I was like born and raised here in Sylmar. And I was like, I'm an artist, I'm a filmmaker, I'm gonna go check it out, right? I go to Tia Chucha's and I meet somebody there, and I'm like, oh, I'm a filmmaker, this and that. They're like, oh, it'll be cool if we show films here. And at the time I was like, yeah, all you need is a projector and a VCR, right? Back then. And they're like, so if we get a projector, you can show films here and you'll be willing to show films. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. You know, I'll be interested in that. Not thinking that they're gonna get a projector. You know, projectors are expensive. They called me up next week. Somebody from San Fernando High just donated a projector. I was like, shit. I'm like, now I'm committed. Now I said I was gonna do it, I gotta do it. So I started coming, and then, you know, 2001, 9/11 happened. And it was interesting because at Sylmar High School, we had there's a bunch of youth at San Fernando High School, Sylmar High School, youth were walking out. There was a lot of anger, a lot of confusion, didn't know what's going on. And for those of you that remember, shortly after 9/11, 2001, it wasn't popular to say that going to Afghanistan was a bad thing. It wasn't popular to stand up against Iraq, right? So these youth were facing a lot of opposition from the administration, from teachers, from parents. So they kind of needed a place to kind of express themselves. So we started meeting and organizing with the youth from Sylmar High, San Fernando. And then I started doing these film screenings, and I would do these film screenings every Wednesday, and we were showing documentaries, feature films. I truly believe in the power of film, so we were even showing feature films and trying to make those connections, you know? Showing a lot of documentaries on U.S. foreign policy, Iran-Contra affair, all this stuff, right? Just to try to get these young people to start thinking. So I was volunteering my time too, you know, and I know what it's like. So it was really interesting, right, to see that. But what really came out of that was Tia Chucha started building a community, right? Just like this community has been built, the open mic, all these people here. Jeffrey says it all the time. I've met someone like my wife, I met at Tia Chucha's, you know? My closest friends in my life, I've met at Tia Chucha's. Tia Chucha's, we pass around the heart and all that stuff, so we ask for donations, and that's important. But what's even more important, I think, is building, the community building that needs to happen, you know? And now in 2017, we need to do that more than ever. What's great about Tia Chucha's and what's great about it now are people like Jeffrey, Jessica, those people that step up and say, hey, I could do this and I want to do that. And that's what we're about. Like we often say, all we do is facilitate the things and the space to have a space for the community. You know, it's up to the people to come and program and do what you want. At the time, I was doing films on Wednesdays. We had somebody that was doing theater on Thursdays. We had open mic. Our open mic's been going 15 years strong. I don't know if people know that. Yeah. 15 years strong. We've had, I don't know, 15, 20 different hosts, you know? People come, people go, but always somebody steps up, you know? And it's a beautiful thing. So right now, I think it's interesting because all the stuff that's going on with Trump, right? The election and how even the youth feel and all this stuff. It's like we're going back to that time, you know? 15 years ago, we just had our 15-year anniversary, and it's interesting that we're all we're going in cycles, right? But like Luis says, we go in spirals. We go in cycles, but we keep moving up, like DNA, right? So that's what we got to keep doing. So yes, donating is important. If you're able to donate, great. We have the Dream Maker program where Jeffrey was talking about. You do a membership, $15 a month. It takes it out automatically. That's great if you're able to. If you're not, like, let's really amplify this community, you know? Like, we did a lot to try to push tonight and the open mic and the noches. We're going to try to play more a part of trying to get more people here and just to provide a safe space for people to express themselves, because that's where the healing happens, you know? And that's really we're gonna need that this year. We're gonna need a lot of that, you know, a lot of love. So if you see it on Facebook, if you see it on social media, share it, spread it, call people, text people, invite people. If there's things that you want to see, if you know people that are willing to come and volunteer their time to do something, if you know something, if you want to do a presentation, if you want to link somebody that you think the community could benefit, like, we're all open to that, you know? We're really open to that. Unfortunately, we're also limited in staff. So Fridays is really hard for us to have staff here. So I know it's hard to sometimes make those connections, so that's why I wanted to come up. And hopefully every week somebody you see who are the people behind the scenes to kind of like make those connections if there's anything you're interested or you want to see. We're starting a lot of new things. We started a father circle. That's the next meeting is Tuesday, January 24th at 8 p.m. If you know any fathers that are interested, it's a safe space to just come, talk, and share. So I invite all you fathers to come out, to come through.
Can they come against their will?
Yes. That's what Jeffrey and I were talking. We were like, yeah, we gotta find those fathers. And,
yeah, that need to really be
and bring them here. January 20th is an election. We're planning a day of expression. People are also, you know, pushing for boycotts and all that. We're going to do a special day of programming, a special open mic that night. I invite everybody to come. We're going to put it out next week and start sharing it. I invite you all, if you're not on social media, to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Subscribe to our newsletter. We have our newsletter, sign up right there. Just spread the word, you know. We want people here. If you're not here, there's going to be Avenue 50s doing something similar. There's all over. Everybody's doing something, you know. So I encourage everybody to get involved. Just again for this community building, you know. We're really going to need it this year in 2017. I say I don't want to take any more time. Just again, thank you everyone, and again, thank you to our host.